here live from the 2014 Summer X Games in Austin, Texas. Welcome to the MLG X Games Invitational. We are here making history this weekend with 8 of the world's best Call of Duty teams competing for X Games Gold for the first time ever. Now, over the next 3 days, you can catch all of the action on MLG TV, your mobile device, and Xbox 360. Or if you happen to be here in Austin, you can check it out live in person. So make sure you guys let everyone know about this historic event by using the hashtag MLGXGames on Twitter. Now let's send it up to 2 of our casters who will be bringing you the live commentary all weekend, Fwiz and Puckett.
Thank you, Justine. Fwiz, it is finally time. The X Games, MLG's first ever event, and we're playing Call of Duty.
We're on the come up, man. We've got Call of Duty here at the X Games. It's not only exciting for Call of Duty, MLG, and the X Games, but really gaming and esports as a whole. So I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked.
It's going to be one heck of a weekend, and we have 8 of the best teams in the world competing here for the first time. They have a chance to take home some X Games gold. Who are some of the big-name teams you're looking out for this weekend?
I think a lot of people are going to either have eyes on Optic Gaming because they're big fans, Envious, or certainly Evil Geniuses, who have they've been making a tear through all of these championship games. So I think a lot of people are going to have their eyes on those 3 teams.
Here's a look at the full roster of teams that are competing this weekend. Of course, we have the world champions, Evil Geniuses. We're going to have Optic Gaming, who, of course, got 3rd at the Call of Duty $1 Million Tournament. Envious, the runners-up. But then we got teams like Optic Nation, a squad that has been built in the last few months here. We have Team Caliber, FaZe Red, Strictly Business, and Curse Orange as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then we kick off our first match with EG and Strictly Business. So, look, obviously all the teams that got here are very solid teams. They worked hard to get where they're at to be here. So every match should be pretty good.
Now, when we were talking kind of in the lead-ins, we were doing the bracket shows, all the responses I saw on Twitter were about 2 teams. Of course, we have EG, the reigning champions. They have not lost in the last 12 months. They've been going to almost every single final possible. But there are 2 squads that people have a feeling could possibly dethrone them this weekend. We have Envious, a squad that you like a lot, and Optic Gaming. Why do you think Envy has a chance to dethrone them this weekend?
I'm picking Envious to win it this weekend. Historically, if you look at Envious as a franchise, as a team, they've got a lot of really tough second-place finishes, even going back to Call of Duty 4, where they just kind of fell a little bit short of winning it all. I really like this Envious squad. I think Study was that young, vibrant guy that they brought to it. You've got Nameless, who is amazing at Ghost. I mean, he's a very talented player. So I like this squad, and I honestly think the boys in blue are going to take it home this weekend.
Now, EG did have just the 1 loss at the U.S. Championship. That was to Strictly Business. But other than that, they've gone all the way to the finals. Envy has been in the last 2 finals against them, but they've been blown out. The team I'm looking for is Optic Gaming. Last time these 2 squads matched up, we saw Optic Gaming at the COD Championships, at least. It went all the way to game number 5. And I feel like Optic Gaming, out of all the 8 teams here, matches up the best against EG.
No, honestly, I think that's a very accurate statement, because even during COD Champs, when you looked at Optic Gaming, when they were on that Domination Sovereign game, and they were doing really well against the Complexity squad at the time. And they just kind of fell apart at the end there. Embo struggled in one of the rounds there in that Sovereign Domination game, and that's kind of how they fell apart. But that was a team that was going toe-to-toe with them, so no doubt about it, man. Green Wall can be strong sometimes.
Well, speaking of the Green Wall, right now down on the floor, we have the main Slayer from Optic Gaming. Actually, he'll be down there with Justine in a moment. But I'm really looking forward to Optic Gaming. They've brought Proofy on. He's going to be slaying with his old buddy, Scump. Now he's ready down on the floor. Let's send it to Justine.
All right, so we are down here. Scumpy, how's it going? We're here in Austin. This is the X Games. I mean, what is this like for you?
It's insane. It's insanely hot as well. This is a remarkable experience, just seeing the X Games, being able to have access to the athlete lounge with actual athletes, I don't know, or gamers, but it's pretty crazy. It's really remarkable.
I mean, you're gamers, but your skill set is definitely something different, and that's not something that everyone has.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. I've seen people from sports try to play video games, and it's not pretty sometimes. It's not pretty.
I mean, I can't see you skateboarding anytime soon. Unless you're really good at skateboarding, I didn't know this.
I said this is the time to do it. If I'm ever going to do it, I'm going to grab a skateboard and go down there on the ramps.
So now the MLG pros have been dominating the most liked athletes category on the list. Now you're number 2. Now how does that feel to have such fan support?
It's awesome. The social media presence that MLG brings is just, it's insane. It's so big compared to the way that sports athletes have it. Obviously, I think Optic Gaming and Optic Nation were like the top 8 in the most likes. So, I mean, that's awesome. Green wall, let's get it.
All right, you guys are always really excited. Now, Optic Gaming has not won MLG titles since 2011, and you guys haven't won a tournament since UMG Chicago in 2012. So now what would win?
Winning this would be crazy. I would say this is the biggest tournament publicity-wise like ever for Call of Duty. So if this is the tournament to win, I mean, this is the tournament to win. This is the one at Call of Duty Championships. Fell a little bit short, almost took out EG, but almost doesn't really get you anything in Call of Duty. So, I mean, it would just mean so much for us, for fans. I mean, it would just be crazy to win the X Games.
All right, well, I wish you guys the best of luck.
Yep, thank you very much.
Thank you guys, back up to you.
All right, Scumpy's looking ready here, Fwiz.
Oh, Scump's the homie, man. He's if they are going to win it, he will 100% be the key figure in order to make that happen.
Now, of course, all of our players extremely popular on the X Games Austin app.
Yeah,
if you guys don't
so.
have it already, feel free to download it for your iOS and Android devices. But it's so cool. If you're here in the venue, guys, this weekend, it'll give you the times of all the major matches. You can go see all the other activities going on here. But let's talk a little bit about some of the matchups that you're looking forward to. Of course, we said Envy is your team to win it. I said Optic Gaming is my team to potentially take down EG for the first time. Who are some of the teams that you think could be the underdogs that could pull off an upset?
I like FaZe Red, man. I think Curse Orange is interesting, right? Because they're going to have to play with a different player here in their 4th. But I like that squad a lot. I also do like the FaZe Red team. And I think, look, it's hard to say that any of these teams are like dark horses, right? It's an invitational. It's only 8 teams. You know, these are the top 8 teams, right? So it's tough to make any of those picks. But I like the FaZe Red and Curse Orange teams.
You like FaZe Red and Curse Orange?
Yeah.
On the other side, both of those teams in Group B pretty interesting here. But in Group A, I'm looking out for Optic Nation and Team Caliber.
Good picks.
I don't know which one I'm rooting for yet, but the good news is they're both going to be playing against each other today. We're going to get a little sample of who's the stronger team.
Well, that Optic Nation team outplaced Optic Gaming last tournament, so I don't think it's like the craziest thing in the world. Like, those guys are very talented. I mean, it's a good group of guys in there that are playing. I mean, as long as they can stay collective and like composed, you know, like we all know that can get out of hand sometimes, but I think they'll be able to do it.
It's all about keeping that team happy. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at our tournament format, what is going to happen this weekend. Now, of course, we're starting off today. It's all about group play. Now, Fwiz, break it down for us. We're going to have group play, and then we're going to have the medals bracket. How's group play going to work?
So we'll have 4 groups that are going to be playing in here. We'll have the teams that'll come out. You basically need 2 wins, or 2 groups, I'm sorry, but you need 2 wins to come out of your group into a single elimination bracket. Once we get in the single elimination bracket with these 4 teams, it's basically on to the medals and see who's going to be able to pull out the gold, bronze, and silver.
So 2 wins in group play,
you got to get
2 losses,
2, you're out. Yeah.
You are done.
You're out. So, like, again, tournaments like this, there's only 8 teams. There's no room for error. So you've got to come in, guns blazing, ready to play.
Now, of course, guys, we're going to be kicking things off with our first matchup of the day in just a little bit. That is going to be Evil Geniuses versus Strictly Business. But also, after that, we're going to have a chance for all the VIPs in the venue. Very special opportunity to play with some celebrities in the Call of Duty scene. Who are some of the big guys playing on our main stage?
We got T-Martin, I think big timers showing up, coming out of retirement for an all-star match to play with some people. We've got Hex that's going to be playing as well from the Optic squad. So that'll actually be really fun. So the people that bought, the VIP passes out here that are hanging out at the booth right now will get to play, and that should be a fun match. We're going to be doing that one. Is that after the EG Strictly Business match?
Yep, right after this match.
I'm actually pumped, man. I get to commentate that?
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
right.
We're going to have some 1v1 snipers later on today. Finally answer the question, who is the best sniper in Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Then we're going to have some more matches. We have Optic Nation facing off against TK, followed by Optic Gaming versus FaZe Red. That matchup I know everyone's going to be looking at.
That's a big one right there.
How strong is FaZe Red? We're going to find that out tonight. And then on the final match of the evening, Envious taking on Curse Orange, your team to look out for.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for both those matches there. The Optic Gaming FaZe Red, and seeing how it'll be the first look and see how Curse Orange is going to perform with that squad. And then obviously, I hope Envy comes out the gate strong, or else I'm going to look completely inaccurate with my pick selection.
All right, guys. Well, this is a 3-day event. Today, it's all about group play. We finish group play tomorrow, and then Championship Sunday. It's all about those medals. We're going to commercial break. When we return, it is the first match of the MLG X Games Invitational. Strictly Business takes on the world champions, Evil Geniuses.